Hey! Thanks for clicking on my video. Fighting games are debatably the most personal genre in gaming. Many popular genres are competitive, and esports have spawned from these in a way that mirrors traditional sports, with two teams attempting to outplay the other through coordination and teamwork. But fighting games are very different, because the outcome of the match lies solely on you and your opponent. This means that games can end in feelings of both unbelievable satisfaction and heartbreaking devastation, because at the end of the game, one player must win and one player must lose solely as a result of what they decided to do. But you probably already know this. You're a fighting gamer, you've seen the ups and downs, so what's your goddamn point, dang it. That was you, that was my impression of you. Well, in my video about reaching Master Rank, I spent the first portion talking about how important it is to understand your opponent in order to win any given match. But today, I want to devote a video to how important it is to understand yourself, how fighting games can reflect that sense of self right back at you, and their ability to improve aspects of your life beyond just the game. Because fighting games have honestly helped me figure out who I am, and I'm certain they can do the same for you. So what exactly do I mean when I say fighting games reflect your sense of self? Well, in a lot of ways, your gameplay is going to be an extension of your personality. Think about how you carry yourself on a day-to-day basis. Are you someone who, maybe when you have an idea, you immediately go for it? Someone like this who wants to jump in feet first might often find themselves as a more aggressive player, and they'll probably find themselves gravitating towards offense-oriented characters. They want to win the game, they want to do it right now, they're going to run at you, they're going to overwhelm you with offense, and they're going to play the game their way. On the other hand, maybe you do see yourself as a more patient person. And if that's the case, you'll probably find yourself playing more neutral-based characters, or maybe even zoners. If you watch any Sajam, he's one of my personal favorites. He has a great video that's a couple years old called Sajam Discusses Different Types of Fighting Game Players, Timmy, Johnny, and Spike. This is based on something by the creator of Magic the Gathering, I believe. I like the way the article gives them silly little names, but the basic idea is that Timmy is a guy that plays just to have fun. He'll pick his favorite character, something he thinks is cool, and he'll spend the entire match just trying to do the cool thing and screw around, have a good time, you know? Then there's Johnny. This says Johnny likes a challenge. Johnny enjoys winning with cards that no one else wants to use. He likes making decks that win in innovative ways. What sets Johnny apart from the other profiles is that Johnny enjoys deck building as much as he enjoys playing. So this is mostly the type of people that enjoy finding a difficult character to play, or sitting in training mode and labbing out really unique or interesting situations or setups or anything like that. And then there's Spike, who is the competitive player, and he plays to win. I feel like I don't really need to explain that one. There's also Laughs Theory, which is a different way of saying pretty much the same thing. There's heart, brain, and body players. Heart is like people who make decisions in the moment, they just have a feeling and they go for it. Brain players are those who are like looking at the statistics. What is the most likely thing to happen? What is the situation I can put myself in where I'm most likely to be victorious? And body players are straight up execution, reactions, or really hard combos that do a bunch of damage. Every single person is going to fall on a different part of this spectrum for both of these different categorizations. And I find it cool to think about. Like for me personally, I'm very much a Johnny and Spike in the first example. Some mix between the two. I am a very competitive person, I do enjoy winning a lot. But I like to win with my favorite characters, and oftentimes my favorite characters are the ones that do something really interesting or are difficult to figure out in some way. I like being tricky, which is why I play Rashid. And in the other categorization, I'm almost entirely a heart player. What I try to do most of the time is get into my opponent's head and try and really figure out what they would like to do. Or at the very least, that's how I really want to play. And thus there's a lot of intuition and heart that goes into how I play. The most interesting part of this comes to me, and when I think about how these often reflect how I am in real life as well. I'm not good at planning, and there's not a bunch of things that I excel at doing, like a brain or a body player, you know. But I go with what feels good, and oftentimes that brings me to a decent place. I'm also a person who enjoys a challenge. I often like doing things that are probably going to be really difficult, and most importantly, I really like successfully doing those things, especially if someone didn't think I could, which is the Johnny and Spike that plays out throughout all my personality. Reflecting on this and understanding what it is you like about the games, how you like to play, how you're best at playing, and maybe what you're not so great at, is a really important step in improvement. Another aspect of this reflection is how fighting games show you how you react under stressful situations, both in the moment and under long-term stressful situations. And one of the things I really like is that fighting games are as personal as they are, so they bring up a lot of the similar feelings that you would have in a real life situation, but it does so in a place where the stakes are in fact incredibly low. Think about when you're losing a round. Are you still making conscious decisions within the match, or are you going off pure instinct? Not that either is wrong, but there is probably a time and a place for both. But perhaps most importantly is continuous stress. When you're losing a lot in fighting games, how do you react and where is the line? If you saw my master video, then you know that I am a person who has gotten extremely upset at these games. Losing a whole bunch can feel discouraging, often because it feels entirely out of your control. Or even worse, that it's entirely in your control and you're physically incapable of doing so. As I said in that video, it is completely fine for you to feel those feelings, but do understand that you're in a very low stakes environment. And these low stakes give you an opportunity to reflect and improve upon these things without anything on the line. Because in life, you may often find that you'll let yourself down. Whether it be a split-second decision, like something you said to somebody, or a goal you wanted to accomplish that you didn't put your whole self into. Learning to be gentle with yourself, and to take a break and think about what it is you did wrong, and what it is you would like to do better in the future, is something that's incredibly valuable. And one of the ways I myself have learned to do this better is through fighting games. If I had continued to carry that, for lack of a better term, self-loathing, I guess, there's absolutely no way I would have gotten to the level of play that I'm at now. And similarly, I probably wouldn't have the confidence I need to do YouTube. And while we're on the topic of confidence in one thing is going to naturally bleed into another. I like that segue. I'm getting good at this. I've often found that someone who is pretty confident in themselves finds themselves relatively confident in fighting games. And that confidence means they play pretty well. There's something about the decisiveness that comes with confidence that gives these players a bit of an edge. I've also found that if fighting games are something you really care about, improving at the game and gaining confidence in your skill at the game will kind of bleed into yourself as well. And when you're confident in yourself, you continue to grow more confident in the game. And it can become this like looping cycle of self-improvement and game improvement, and self-improvement and game improvement. But I want to make one thing clear. This is important. I'm not saying that the more skillful you get, the more confident you will get necessarily. Because confidence is not born from something someone does. Confidence is born in here. I don't really know how to tell someone how to be more confident. Not a fucking therapist. I don't know that shit. It's really just being self-assured that however good you are right now is perfectly fine. And if you do want to continue getting better, believe that you can. Because it just takes time and thoughtful training, you know, focusing on your weaknesses, all that jazz. But the primary point I'm trying to make is the higher your confidence, the higher you can go. And it's all a mindset. Speaking of mindset, these segues, man, I'm on fucking fire today. So with how much of your brain space fighting games need to occupy, and how much attention that is required of you, you're gonna find that if you have a lot of stuff on your mind, you're probably not gonna play as well. If you're stressed at work, or you've got something going on in your personal life that you're really stressed about, you're probably not gonna be playing at the top of your ability. Beyond that, you'll probably react a bit more aggressively than you normally would to the shitty situations you keep putting yourself in. I've actually often found that fighting games have shown me just how upset about something in my personal life I am, because you'll find it's hard to bury emotions with these games sometimes. So if you've got a lot of emotions buried up and you end up exploding like fucking Hades, maybe now is not the time to be playing Street Fighter. I don't know, man. Figure your shit out. To wrap this up, I want to take a second to look at some high-level players and discern what we can from their personalities. The setup makes it look like I'm streaming, bro. I'm not. If you think you'd be interested in seeing me stream, let me know in the comments, though. It is something I want to do, but I didn't want to start streaming into the void and having no one to watch me do anything. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's look at my boy Sajam here. I want to mention him again. So the main thing I want to point out is from this clip where he was playing ranked and he beat somebody that he knows and they one and done him. And so he called them on stream and this is the conversation.
I'm streaming and you're just gonna one and done me on
Just start playing the game.
you're on Wi-Fi and you're gonna one and done me?
God damn it, I didn't know it was you.
You're a sick fuck and I haven't seen you in a long time. I hope you're doing well.
Can you let the people know that I'm a script, and it's straight from my own mouth, and I apologize to the good people.
It's okay. I love you and miss you. Hope you're doing well. Bye.
I love you too, bye.
Alright, he's a sack of shit.
Okay. Ugh. Stop. He's funny. He's having a good time. And he is respectful to this friend of his, even though he did something that bro makes fun of people for doing all the goddamn time. So the next thing I want to show, this is from Evo. This is the grand finals of Street Fighter 6.
Had to do it, right? I mean, it's burnout.
Yeah.
Oh, not the dual sense.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's not panic.
Controller. Oh, did his controller just die? Oh no, not like this. Is he? He's like.
What are we doing? We're gonna continue.
They're playing.
I love it. That's respect. That's a throwback. I concur. Let's move forward.
See? So if you don't know, the rules would typically require that Mena RD forfeit the game, or like this one game, because of his controller doing something crappy. But Angry Bird, the moment it started happening, was totally chill about it. Was totally chill about it. Hey, let's keep going. Let's keep going. These are some bro moments, man. This is the heart of the competition. That's respect, as Yipes says. And then I also want to skip to the end and see how it finishes.
That'll do it. Angry Bird, your Street Fighter 6 Evolution 2023 champion. All the way through over 7,000 competitors. An incredible run in that loser side for Mena. But there it is. His first time in Evolution.
Who knows what
top
they're
8,
saying to each other, man.
His first time in Grand Finals and his first win. You could see the emotion on his
If anyone
face.
can read
Angry
lips,
Bird,
I think I saw you did
stuff.
great. I don't know.
Feeling it after that, and that's how you know these guys
Look at
are
these
laughing
bros.
in the set. They're happy.
So what's my point? These people are respectful. They're joyful. They're having a good time. They don't mind if they lose. And they're always giving it their best. They embody what I would like to call the warrior's spirit. Iron sharpens iron. I want you to continue to grow stronger so that when we fight again, I will be pushed higher. Win or lose, doesn't matter. We learned a whole lot. In much the same way, in life, we surround ourselves with good people because good people make us better. Maybe a hell of a lot less planned, but eventually our character will be tested. And ideally, no matter the outcome, you can walk away from any situation having learned something and having that same self-respect, even if you were wrong. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you found it interesting. This is one of the biggest reasons why I love the FGC so much. Every single person I've met within it has been such a kind and cool and respectful person. And the people that it hasn't taught that to, usually aren't very good. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you very much.
We await your return, warrior.